some of the new legislation that has been adopted in member states have made it much more difficult for these children. For instance, you mentioned family reunification. This has led to the fact that some, or quite a few, I would say, children living in Europe, they cannot reunify with their families living elsewhere in Europe because of new legislation. The second problem is related to the fact that more and more member states are granting that kind of children only temporarily right to stay till they are 18 years old. And what we have seen is that when these children are having this in mind all the time, it is of course for them very worrying, and when they are coming closer and closer to being 18 years old, they escape from the authorities and nobody knows where they are. And again, the risk is that many of them are being picked up by traffickers and being exploited. So this is causing a huge security risk for Europe. This is self-inflicted wound, because in the future we will probably see many of these people as criminals, as and maybe also terrorists. Yes, of course we are very attentive to all kinds of discrimination and violence against LGBTI people. I think it's also very important that all of the member states give proper shelter, safe shelter for these children, and that they also have the right to go to school. These are two basic things which, well, some member states there are good practices on it, but also the opposite. So we are now urging our member states to take action in this regard. We have heard from Interpol that it might be 10,000 people, but that's some time ago we heard this figure. In the meantime, I've heard so many examples, including from my own country, that young people are simply running away because they fear that they will be expelled when they become 18 years old. So I think that the number of children that are on their own has increased nearly every day.
Such victims be empowered with to get some kind of...
I do hope that Turkey understand that it is not in their interest to carry out judicial processes not based on the European Convention and the case law of the court, because then there will be thousands of condemnations from the European Court of Human Rights. This will not be good for Turkey, it will not be good for Europe. So this is a clear message, and I think that authorities and courts and everybody in Turkey has to have this on their mind.